It was raining again. Heavy, cold, and unkind. "Isn't that the same man I see every morning?" Principal Janet Rivers murmured to herself, peering through her office window at the silhouette in the distance. A tall, rugged figure walked briskly along the edge of the road, holding a broken umbrella over a small girl's head. Who is he? She didn't know his name yet, but she was about to. For the last 3 weeks, Janet had noticed the same man. Rain or shine, cold or heat, he walked the same route every day with a young girl by his side, always early, always quiet. They never came in a car, never took the school bus. They just walked. The girl, delicate and shy, always clutched her backpack tightly and wore an oversized coat. She looked a bit too small for second grade. Her father, at least, Janet assumed it was her father, always kissed her forehead at the gate and left with the same quiet strength he'd arrived with. She didn't know why, but something about them tugged at her heart. There was pain in that man's eyes. Not bitterness, just a weary kind of love. And so one rainy morning, Janet decided to follow them. His name was Jacob Monroe. Once a promising mechanical engineer, Jacob's life shattered 2 years ago when his wife, Emily, passed away after a long and grueling battle with cancer. The medical bills drowned them. Their car was repossessed. Their home, foreclosed. He sold everything to pay off what he could, choosing pride and dignity over bankruptcy. With no family to help and no job that paid enough to recover quickly, Jacob took the only path left, a tiny one-bedroom rental on the outskirts of town and part-time shifts as a janitor in a warehouse. It was barely enough to buy groceries and cover his daughter's school uniform. He never told anyone about his struggle. He didn't want pity. He only wanted his daughter, Lily, to have a normal life. And for that, he walked 6 miles to her school every morning and 6 miles back. "Daddy, are my shoes okay?" Lily asked one morning, her little voice cutting through the morning fog. Jacob knelt to check. Her soles were thinning, barely holding together. He smiled anyway. "They're perfect, sunshine. Just like you." He'd already skipped lunch for weeks to save up for a new pair. But emergencies always came first. The heater had broken last month, and Lily had caught a cold. That took priority. Still, he'd walk through fire if it meant she'd feel safe. Principal Rivers followed at a distance. She didn't mean to pry, but as she watched the man step through puddles to keep his daughter dry, her heart sank. When they finally reached the school, she hung back as Jacob kissed Lily goodbye and turned to make the 6-mile journey back home. But this time, he paused. He looked up, and saw her. She stepped forward gently. "Hi. I've seen you around. You walk here every day?" Jacob offered a modest nod, unsure if he was in trouble. "Yes, ma'am. I'm just making sure Lily gets to school on time." "You always walk?" she asked softly. "Yes." She studied his eyes, calm, yet tired. Protective, yet proud. There was no shame in his posture, only love. And it made her heart ache. That night, she couldn't sleep. The whisper in the teacher's lounge. The next day, she started asking around. Lily's teacher, Mrs. Gray, confirmed what she suspected. Lily was always well-behaved, but reserved. She'd mentioned her mom was in the sky once, and that her dad fixed broken things at night. It didn't take much to put the pieces together. "I think they're barely making it," Mrs. Gray whispered. "But he's trying so hard." Janet made a decision. The following week, Jacob received a phone call. "Mr. Monroe, this is Principal Rivers from Lily's school." "Yes, ma'am." "Is everything okay?" "Everything's fine, don't worry. I was calling with an opportunity. We're opening up a new maintenance position at the school, and we'd like you to consider it. It comes with a higher wage than your current job, and there's also staff housing available nearby. It's not fancy, but it's warm and close. And safe." There was silence on the other end. I don't know what to say," Jacob stammered. "Why me?" "Because I see how far you walk," she said gently. "And more importantly, I see how much you love your daughter." That night, Jacob cried. For the first time in 2 years, not out of fear or exhaustion, but out of gratitude. Lily started arriving at school with new shoes. Her coat fit better. She smiled more. Jacob now worked just down the hallway, fixing leaky faucets and squeaky doors. Every now and then, Principal Rivers saw Lily run up to him and wrap her arms around his waist. He no longer had to walk miles in the cold. He no longer had to choose between a heater and dinner. And he never asked for any of it. It came because someone noticed. Someone followed with the heart to understand. Months later, at a school assembly, Principal Rivers took the mic. "Today, I want to share something that reminds us what it means to be strong. Real strength doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. Sometimes, it walks 6 miles in the rain, quietly, because it loves too deeply to give up." She looked toward the back, where Jacob stood near the entrance. "Mr. Monroe, thank you for reminding us what real love looks like." He stood frozen, stunned. The crowd rose in applause. Lily beamed. "This story isn't about wealth. It's not about handouts or heroism. It's about love, the kind that walks quietly and sacrifices loudly. It's about the power of noticing someone else's journey. It's about how a little kindness can change a life. So, if you ever see someone walking a hard road, don't look away. You never know when just noticing could be the beginning of their miracle." And to all the single parents carrying the weight of the world for little shoulders, they see you. We all should.